Okay. Right, guys. So you'll know my name's Louisa. Thank you for choosing this course. So the expression "your vibe attracts your tribe," it really does. And so I know you'll find it surprising. Each group, they have a different vibrational frequency, and you're here for a reason. So you'll find that each group has you've all got something in common, and we eventually find these things out. It's amazing. So I'll introduce myself for those of you who haven't met me. Most of you guys have, but just to see where I'm coming from. So I've been practicing yoga for probably, God, it's about 26 years or something. I found yoga when my oldest was a baby, and it basically changed my life. I started off doing hatha yoga, and with a bit of Kundalini, because I love Kundalini, as you'll see in the course. Because I was young then. I'm a 48-year-old grandma now. My body, and you'll find out about Ayurveda as well, and body types. My body was in that stage where Ashtanga and power yoga and things like that were good for me, good for my joints, and good for me to move through. So I trained with, oh God, David, I've forgotten his name now. David Swenson, that's it, David Swenson. I've got so much I want to tell you. David Swenson is an Ashtanga yoga teacher in 2003, but that wasn't to teach anyone. That was just because I found that as my personal practice. So it was really because I was really in my body. Then you normally find when you first find yoga, you find the physicality of it, and then as you progress, you realize it's not about the asana, and we're going to be speaking a lot about that throughout the whole course. So, and then I went on, I trained as a children's yoga teacher. I love children and I love yoga, so it made sense. And my youngest was a toddler, and it really just it worked with my life. And so that was the first trainings I started to run was children's yoga teacher training. It's still my baby. I love children's yoga and teen yoga as well. I think it's really important. So 2006, I trained with Frog Lotus International. So I did my 200 hours, and then I went on and did 150 hours with them, and another 150 hours. So in India, Mexico, Costa Rica. And then I've gone on and trained with Sean Corn. She's a wonderful vinyasa teacher. So in London and New York, that's the thing, lockdowns happened and we're just, I'm in Aberdeen. So I've trained with quite a few different types of teachers. I've trained with Sally Parks as a pregnancy yoga teacher. I'm a restorative yoga teacher. I'm a yin yoga teacher. I've gone on and done, I'm constantly, I think at the end of the day, as a yoga teacher, you should be an eternal student, and you should be learning all the time and evolving. Your practices change. But my main teacher is Rod Stryker. So he teaches a form of yoga called para yoga, and that is coming from the ancient, really stemming from back in the Vedas, Vedantas, and really it's like a pure lineage in a sense. So we incorporate Tantra, Ayurveda and yoga, and we will be speaking about that. So we're working with something called Vinyasa Krama. Vinyasa Krama is about really using the asana to progress in our journey. So a lot of teachers will and a lot of yogis will use asana as form to get to. They use their breath to really open up in their asana. They're working towards creating the perfect handstand or whatever. I'm not that, I don't think that is important at all, that your shape is not important. Alignment is important, and knowing what the alignment is, that's the Iyengar side of things, to keep your students safe. So we need to understand the alignment, but we need to know what it feels like in our body and what is the function of the asana, not the form. So function above form. And we use asana to access the breath, not the other way around. So we use asana to access the breath to access the mind, and the mind to access our soul, our divine consciousness, who we really are. So the breath is the bridge to the mind is the bridge to the soul. Okay, so don't feel overwhelmed at all. You will do to start off with, oh my God, how am I supposed to remember all that? It's fine and dandy. Kaya, my daughter, I've been getting her to help me. We've been putting together all the online trainings into an online platform. And it's going to be drip fed every day. You're going to get a new bit of content. So because you guys are the first ones to do this, let me know what's working, what doesn't work. Because if something's not on there or we've cut something out, let me know. And if something's rubbish, tell me. Okay, I need to know. I want you to be really open and honest. If you need something more, let me know, and I can do that for me. I don't want you to go through the course and go, well, that was all right, but I don't feel ready for this. I didn't get enough of that. I really want you to be open with me. I can't assume that you already know things, so I try not to make assumptions. So I'm here to support you as a group, but also as individuals, and I'm aware that you're all coming from different places, which we'll find out as well. Okay, so yeah, so I've trained with lots of different teachers in that sense, and that's not me showing off or being in my ego. It's just for you to know where I'm coming from. I really work with energy and the feel of your practice as well. And I think it's important to build your foundations before you can grow. So this course, I'm going to give you as much as I can. So you're going to have lots of different styles of yoga as well, but also the foundations of Vinyasa Krama. And then I know that you're all coming from different places from a yogic perspective, personally, and the type of practice you teach and the lineage you're coming from. So I want you to learn as much as you can, and then to share your teachings will be you sharing what yoga is to you. So you are your own authentic teacher. And this is something that I've found, and I've spoken to so many other yoga teachers. They've left their 200 hours and gone, they're almost like they know how to sequence, and that's fine, but they haven't found their unique, authentic teaching style. And it takes a few years for that to kick in. But I want to help you along the way, so that when you leave me, I don't want you to leave me, but you know what I mean. So you're going to know who you are and where you're at. So I want to hold your space in that way. Okay. So, and another thing that I think is really important in this course is, in order to hold others' space, this is as a yoga teacher, you need to be able to hold your own. So if you're really not in your practice, you're really not feeling very stable emotionally, this is not the time to embark on a yoga teacher training course. We need to be able to hold our own space. So I think it's imperative that you have a daily practice, but don't beat yourself up if you can't. Okay, if there's a day where you're like, oh my God, I feel so poorly, there's things that happen, because this is a year, you've got a year, you can do it quicker than that. Okay, I wouldn't recommend that you rush through the course, because it needs to kind of go in. But I mean, if over a year, there's a group of us here, there will be births, deaths, illnesses, celebrations, and we'll go through it together. Okay, but I know in the past year that I've experienced births and deaths and illness, and and especially in COVID time. And there's times when perhaps your mental health, and just really be open and honest with me. So this is where, you know, I prefer you to own your shit, basically. Be authentic, be real. If you to tell me if things are you're struggling with things, and you know, it's if you can't get your online reviews in, you know, oh my God, try, but I really, this is not an option, this online review malarkey. Okay, so basically what, as some of you guys have already worked with me before, every Sunday, I'm going to put the form into your Facebook group. It's an online review, or it's real life reviews. Now you're allowed to be in real life, which is very nice. So every Sunday, I would like you to send me 2 reviews of two classes you've been to. Okay, and this is for you to hold yourself accountable for actually going to other classes and learning, for me to know that you're practicing too. And it also, I can see where you're at in your journey, and I can, you know, reach out to you if you need help, and you can reach out to me on a Sunday as well. And it's just, and everyone has said to me that this is one of the things that they've learned so much about. They didn't think they would. They learned about themselves and their practice. Because we tend to go to yoga classes and go, well, that was nice, wasn't it? And you can leave feeling nice, and yeah, that's it. So what this online review will be, I call it online reviews, but you can go to in-person classes now, okay? And I just call them online reviews. I've got so used to it, because it's been over a year now. So you will say before the class how you felt emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, energetically, I can't remember, and then after the class how you felt. Now, so this is really getting you to check in with how you're feeling before and after. So starting to understand working with energies. The more you can understand your own energy, the more you can understand others. It's about being self-aware. Yoga is self-awareness. Okay, so then you're also going to write, it doesn't have to be a big spiel, okay? It can be just a couple of sentences. So what you've picked up from that practice that will be helpful for your own daily practice, and what you've picked up from your personal, for your teaching, for when you're teaching, what would be, oh, that would be good, that move to that, and then also, is being honest as well, because some teachers don't resonate with you. Sometimes it's like, oh, the teacher was a little bit monotonous, and there's no judgment, there's no blame or shame. It's about going, well, do you know what, that didn't work for me, or the teacher spoke too much and I just wanted to get on with it, you know. So really listen to, you see, you're in a class, but you're trying to pick up what works from a physical perspective, well, not physical, from your own personal practice perspective, from a teaching perspective, and how you felt before and after. 2 of them every Sunday. Email it into me, just so I know that you're practicing, because I don't want to, I introduced this just after the first time, and this was before lockdown, obviously years ago, when I first started running teacher trainings. Somebody was pretending to be going to classes, and then I do like a 20-minute sequence. I get you guys to teach me a 20-minute sequence. You don't have to have a warm-up or an ending. So halfway through the course, when you're halfway through, I want you to post a 20-minute you practice of your choice, like what you would teach, your own style. Post it into the group, so I can give you feedback and everyone else can see, and you can all support each other. It's actually, and this isn't that's not an assessment, so there won't be you failed or that's wrong or that's bad. It's just for you to get feedback, for you to get experience, for your confidence. Because I know as well, a lot of 200 hours, the one that I did as well, the only experience you get of teaching is you've got your assessment at the end. Okay, I think it's important when you're ready, halfway through the course, when you're about day 10 or something, film yourself doing a 20-minute sequence in your own unique style. And you might not have discovered your style by then, that's okay too, but just a sequence and make, you need to have like a theme. So it could be just for somebody with back pain, or it could be to, once, if you're really into the Ayurveda side of things, it might be to balance Vata, or it might be for depression. Just tell me what your theme is and post it in. And I found for your assessment, because for your assessment, you will do, you've got exam papers, they're in the group, your manuals in there, it's all being drip fed, so you're not going to get it all together at the same time. You've got exam paper 1, and that's to make sure that you have read the reading list. Now, if you're going, oh my God, I didn't know there was a reading list. Oh, I've not even got the books. Don't worry about that. The reading list is in the syllabus that I sent you, that's attached to one of the emails that I sent you. Okay. So if you can't find it, say something in the group and I will put the reading list. It's not a huge extensive reading list, but some of them are quite important, okay, especially the Bhagavad Gita one, okay, because that is relevant to exam paper 2, where this is where you really learn about yourself and what yoga really is. Everyone who's done this exam paper, it's intense, but they've enjoyed it, and there's no, oh, that's wrong. It's coming from you. Okay, it's near the end. It's the end of the course when you're ready to do that. So don't worry about it. But the reading list is important. Okay, so you've got your reading list, you've got the online platform, and then the anatomy side of things. So I've got to wait till everyone's paid in full. Sorry about that, it's because it's online and I'm releasing all the materials to you. And I also have to pay Yoga Alliance, I've got to pay David Keel, do all the admin stuff. I've got to pay Kaya to help me with all the admin side of things as well. So once everyone's paid in full, and most of you have, thank you very much. And if you've not received a receipt, Kaya will get that to you. It's great having my daughter helping me, because normally I'm like, oh my God. So you'll get your receipt, which you can put through your books. So you'll get that. I'm going to do the business side of things near the end as well. Okay, so put all your things like receipts for your trainings in your book, so then you pay less tax. Okay, so you've got the David Keel thing. I sign you guys up, and I can't register. So I don't register you with Yoga Alliance and the anatomy course until I've received everyone's payments and your application forms. I'm aware that I've spoken to some of you guys. I've spoken to you all. You're accepted on the course. That's why you're here. I've not got the official details, which I do need, because I need to give Yoga Alliance and David Keel your details so they can register you, and that you will be officially registered as a Yoga Alliance professionals trainee. And then once you've done your exams and you send them to me, that you'll already be in the system. So, but I don't wait. So if anyone's not sent me that, please do it today, because it holds everyone else back, because I do it all together. So you're registered as a group together. Okay, it's me. I've learned to be strict, because I've always been like, la la la. Oh, I don't want to pester anyone, because I'm not all about money. But I need to make sure it's in and the application forms in, so I can register you all. So by this afternoon, I'm going to put the course link in to your Facebook group, and that's you, good to go. Very exciting. So you'll have all every day it'll be released as a drip feed, and if it doesn't, let me know, because I'm a bit of a technophobe, and as you'll see, I've not edited the videos because I'm rubbish at editing. So you'll see that there'll be times when my cats jump on my head, the postman comes to the door, and I'll say something ridiculous. So apologies in advance for my strange sense of humor. Okay. Sometimes I find myself hilarious and I'm actually not. Okay, so so apologies in advance. So if something's not worked, if we've posted it into this group and it's coming up and it's gobbledygook or we've not done it properly, I need to know. You know, I won't take anything personally. This is the thing. This is, you guys will learn that we need to step out of our own way. You know, if you take something personally, it's your ego, right? So I'm open to negative conversations because I think it's healthy. I'm very open to positive ones, obviously. But if something's not working, if you're feeling uncomfortable or feeling something's, please speak to me. Okay, I won't take anything personally. I'm not an asshole. You're all right. I'm really open to speaking and to helping you. Okay, because I understand that everyone's coming from different places. Okay, so we've got David Keel. I'm going to sign you up to that today. Hopefully, if I get everyone's stuff in today. Okay. Normally their admin team, it'll probably be tomorrow, you'll get an email. Double check that the password in the email that they give you is right, because sometimes their admin doesn't work out and they've put in the wrong email, or sometimes I've accidentally put in the wrong email. So I'll hold my hands up. So we're all humans together. So double check when David Keel messages you. That's a 20-hour anatomy training. That's an official certificate within itself, but that's also part of your training. Anatomy, I've trained in anatomy, I've taught anatomy, but it's not my biggest passion. So I want to give you what I'm passionate about. And I trained with David Keel. I've done some trainings with David Keel I went to Paris and did stuff with him. His personality doesn't resonate so much with me. He's quite he's a lot of Ashtanga yogis are quite egotistical. He's very much about physical body, and my knees won't go down in Baddha Konasana. But it's as you'll find out in the course, it's not about that. It's my bone structure. So I'm pretty happy that my knees will never go down. So I can accept Utthita Trikonasana. My triangle will always look weird. I'll always be adjusted by teachers, but that's where I'm going to be at forever. So I can enjoy where I am in my body. So you'll learn some of that stuff as well. So he was like pushing down my knees and telling me that one day I'll get there. And I was like, no, I've 26 years. I used to do it as a daily practice, thinking I'll get my knees down. And he kind of put me down in front of people, but I didn't take offense. I just knew I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. But he actually articulates anatomy well. His online course is good. You'll see his teaching style is different to mine, but that kind of complements the course in a sense. So he's a really good anatomy teacher. Okay, so you'll need his book. That's part of the reading list, because to work through the anatomy course, that's what happens there. You'll find as well, for the online course that you're doing with me, the course material will be open to you forever. Okay, you've got access to that forever. And then some of you, because life gets in the way, some of you guys have deferred. So you've gone on, did the year and realized, wait a minute, I don't want to feel overwhelmed. I don't want to just like stuff it all in. You want to come in again. So you can actually pay an admin fee and join on again and enjoy the ride, you know, and there's no, you've not let anybody down, especially yourself. You've made a wise choice. The only thing with the David Keel thing is, some of you guys who've deferred, if you've not done the online anatomy and that's your year's up, I'll pay for you and pop you back into the anatomy group, because after the year's up with the anatomy training, they close it off and that's you. It's a bit more brutal. Okay, so don't worry If you go, oh my God, because you think, oh, a year, that's heaps of time. And some of you guys will go, oh, no, it's, you know, we have been in a pandemic. So give yourself that. Come on, there's been loads of weird stuff going on. So yeah, it's all fine and dandy. Okay, so let's see. So I'm trying to see where I've said everything. Yeah, so we need weekly reviews every Sunday. So I'm going to put that form into your Facebook group. Make sure you've given me your application forms or the information I need. So I like your phone number, your email address. I definitely need these two to register you with Yoga Alliance and David Keel. Okay, if you've not given me that, I need that. Okay, and the final payment too. Most of you have. If you've not received your receipt, you'll get it. And Kaya's been putting a link in. So because she's 19, she's a bit more tech savvy. So a lot of us, especially me as well, you go, oh, what? I can't receive this. It's not a document. Some of it is a link. So sometimes you can't open it in your mobile, but you can open it in your laptop. So, but let Kaya know if you can't open it and she can resend it, because it's the same with the festival tickets. So yeah, you can set up at any point during the course or after the course. Speak to me if you really, send me an email, send me a WhatsApp. It's best to send me an email so I can see it, because I get so many WhatsApp, private Facebook messages, business Facebook, and I've got so many every day. And sometimes the people are going, you're ignoring me. And I'll be like, which one? So I actually sit down and I systematically, every week, I systematically sit down and go through my emails. So I will get to you, it won't get lost in all the other things, okay? So if there's something important that you don't want to share with the group, email me, and then we can set up a phone call, a video call. But if there's something that you think you want to ask and it's really relevant to the group, ask in the Facebook group. Or if there's anything you want to share with each other, really get the thing going. Some of my guys that have done the online training together, they set up on a Sunday night. They do a Zoom call together without me. So, and I think that's really lovely for you all to be part of a group. So, and if you want, some of them have set up a private WhatsApp group together. So you can all go, oh my God, without me seeing, I don't mind, but you know what I mean, without your teacher being there. So you could please do that. I really encourage you to come together as a group. Some of you are going to be aware that I'm running a yoga festival, which you guys next year, if it goes well, next year you might be teaching at. How cool is that? So it's really to showcase how amazing my teachers are. It's not about me at all. And like, obviously I have to teach some classes because people that need to know it's LKY Yoga Teacher Training. LKY stands for the 3 loves of my life. Well, my granddaughter hadn't come along by then, so, and it would be a bit weird if I popped an H on, but Levi and Kaya are my daughters in yoga. So LKY, and I also lived in Lawrence Kirk at the time, so Lawrence Kirk Yoga, and my first thing was kids yoga, so it was Louisa Kids Yoga. So that's the 3, but I stand by the LKY is my 3 loves, but Halia is my big love too, my granddaughter. So that's what LKY stands for, just in case you were ever wondering, because it is pretty random. Yeah, I've changed the logo as well. So it's not a generic pink lotus. I've offended a few yoga teachers when I put a post up about my new logo saying, oh, generic pink lotus. But like LKY Yoga Teacher Training was originally a pink lotus. It still is on the website. I think we're stepping away from that. I think if we're standing for being authentic and really stepping true into who we are, let's not be generic. Okay, so so I do a lot of priestess work, and I have an altar. I am one of these weirdos. I've got 3 black cats. I would get burnt at the stake. So it's the Eye of Horus now. It's an Egyptian symbol, which stands for healing and empowerment, and it's used in rituals. And I think that is like really like healing and empowerment is what we stand for here. And you guys are going to be going through this healing and empowerment in the course. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting all deep and meaningful here. Okay, so I think that's everything you need to know so far. Has anyone got any questions? No. Oh, that's very good. So now we're going to do the thing where you go, oh, for goodness sake, when I go, now it's time for you guys to introduce yourselves. You know, oh no. So I'm going to go around. I always do this because I can see it's a bit like, you know, the Muppet Show, the old Manny's in the Muppet Show, where I can see you and I'll go like, you're on this side. So Alana, you're there for me. I don't know if you are for everyone else, but hello, Alana. Do you want to introduce yourself and let everyone know where you're coming from your yogic perspective?
Okay, hi, I'm Alana. I actually have deferred the course. I started this time last year, but then obviously I worked for Arcadia as well. So at the start of the year, when obviously Arcadia was like just dissolved really, and then we had to close down all the shops and stuff. So obviously love the course. I've done loads of other courses as well with Louisa. I'm like so obsessed with everything, just want to constantly learn. But obviously, as we started this year with the redundancies and obviously closing down all the stores, and I was having to try and hold my staff space then as well, because I was like a cluster manager. And then I got COVID as well, which really impacted my just like I've had like brain fog for so long, I suppose, which had obviously impacted my studies. So I'd obviously just made the choice to defer so that I could obviously enjoy it and really get stuck back in, obviously, just now. But yeah, you will absolutely love the course. It's so amazing. And as with any other training that Louisa does as well, really, really good. So yeah, so just excited, obviously, to be in a new group and to get back into it. I was probably about halfway through it, really, with like the studies and everything as well. But as I said, I had done like other trainings too. So I've joined the 300 hours as well. I've done my anatomy. I've did obviously yin and other things as well. So yeah, just love it all.
Thank you, Alana. It's so nice to see you again. I'm glad you're back on your feet. You know, myself and my daughters had COVID as well a couple of months ago. So yeah, it's a weird thing, this COVID malarkey, isn't it? And I found yin yoga helped me because my joints were so sore. It's a really weird thing to have, isn't it? It affects everyone in different ways as well.
I thought like the brain part of it was really, really strange, because I've always been really like quite good, obviously, at studying and concentrating and things. But even like as part of like the yoga, the things that I loved obviously the most was like meditating, visualizing, and obviously seeing, do you know what I mean, like the colors and stuff, and it just totally gone for me. Like I really couldn't access that part of my mind.
It's quite scary, isn't it? It's like you feel like you've lost your connection to Ajna chakra. I was like, oh my God, have I stopped being spiritual? It's really weird. It almost takes, you feel like it's taken your soul. It's like, oh my God.
No, I really struggled with it. And then I got so frustrated and a bit upset about it. And I was like, will it ever come back? So
yeah, it does, thank God. But it's quite scary. I think there's so much out there. You're like, oh my God, what's happened? Yeah, we're back in the room now. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Oh, thank you, Alana. It's so lovely to speak to you. Okay, so I'm looking down here and I can see Polly. Hello, Polly.
Hiya, I'm Polly, and yeah, so I've been practicing yoga since I think 2008. Probably met Louisa for the first time around 2010, maybe 2011, I think. Yeah, so I've been practicing for quite a while. My background is mostly health and fitness based. I'm a personal trainer and fitness coach and swimming instructor and mountain bike instructor. Although I did go off the rails and do worked in oil and gas for almost 20 years as well.
Go off the rails.
I feel like I sold my soul to the oil and gas devil. But I left oil and gas in 2016 to focus on health and fitness and try and make my life a little bit more fulfilling. I live out in the country up in the northeast of Scotland, and there's not a whole lot of yoga up here. There's a lot of gentle yoga, quite samey, I would have to say. And so I love yoga. I love the transition that it's making with my life. I'd say it creates more space in my life for emotional healing more than anything. Obviously, like everyone else, I came to it for the fitness aspect, but very quickly seeing the emotional healing, the mental space, and all that good stuff that comes with it. And so I've done the Yin 40-hour and just getting close to finishing the Ayurveda 40 hours with Louisa as well, which has been great. And I always dreamed of doing this course abroad, somewhere hot and sunny and wonderful. And, it's still a dream to go and do some of these things. But actually, this type of learning I'm finding is much better for me and my discipline, and integrating it into my life and making my life better, calmer, slower. So I'm really grateful that, should I say, that COVID came along and it sent me down this path, because it definitely feels like the right way to go for my practice, my learning, and potentially my teaching in the future. So yeah.
Thank you, Polly. Oh, it's so nice to see you. Oh, we've got such a lovely group of people. We're going to have so much fun together. So I've got Nancy down there. Hi, Nancy.
I think I muted myself as well. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry if it's a bit echoey. Is it really echoey?
No, it's fine. It's
Okay.
fine. Sounds like you're in a school gym.
Well, it is. Yeah, I'm in work. Yeah. So yeah, and my full name's not up because I'm on a work computer. So yeah, I'm Nancy, and I probably did my first yoga class like maybe 20 years ago. When I was in London, I was doing my dance teacher training, and I've practiced ever since then. But I've been working as a dance teacher, but I've always kept my practice going, and in the meantime, sort of had a divorce and 2 kids and all that's gone along with it. And I think probably in the last 6 years, I've become more sort of connected with yoga. And for me, not necessarily as much the physical side, more the spiritual side of it, and finding solace in the practice in that way. It's been amazing for me. And I've always wanted to do my training, and it's been sort of putting it off for various reasons, or not being quite ready emotionally probably and stable. So it was a bit of a wake up sort of, what am I waiting for? Feeling in a good place. Everything's settled more in my life. And so, yeah, I don't know. I was doing my searches and my research for the course. And like you say, it's about finding a connection, isn't it? And I was researching, and then we had a really nice chat on WhatsApp, and it just all felt right at this time. And I really enjoyed your energy on the chat. So I was just like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm really excited. So I work 4 days in a college. This is my little habitat. And I have Fridays off, and every other weekend I'm off. So I'm planning to do my work in those times. And it's going to be really different for me, because I do prefer the kind of, my work's really gung-ho and quite fast and all that kind of stuff, so I quite enjoy the slower side of yoga, which people wouldn't necessarily think that with me, but I do enjoy that kind of side of it, rather than it all being powerful and all that. And I feel like my body maybe enjoys that side more as well now I'm a little bit older. So yeah, that's it for me, I think.
That's really good to be intuitive in that sense, because I'm very much, you'll see my energies. I'm, from an astrological perspective, I'm all fire and air. So I'm like, hello, but my communication, I'm Cancerian communication. So I'm speak with emotion, but everything's all fire and air. So I move a lot, and I used to be drawn to Ashtanga and everything, and then I realized, oh my God, I need yin, I need restorative, and I do but my personal practice mostly is tantric hatha, but I'll figure out, do I need a moon practice, do I need a sun practice, or do I need a fire practice? And a lot of the time, because of the way life is, I could have a vata imbalance where I'm like, yeah, I need to bring in the cool, calming, slow, and it's almost like you've listened to yourself and gone, right, you're used to being like that, your life's like that, you're going to give your body and your mind everything what it needs, not what it wants. And this is that, and you'll learn along the course. It's called, most people practice Angabanga sadhana, right? And I love saying that word, Angabanga sadhana. So Angabanga sadhana is, we all, as as humans, not just with yoga, we go with what we want, we go with what we feel like, if you feel like, what do? Like lie on the sofa and eat rubbish? Well, that's not good for you, it's the same with your practice. So many people are drawn to practice that are like them, but not necessarily. So people that are very vata, like myself, are drawn to power yoga, vinyasa, all that sort of stuff, but they actually should be bringing in a little bit moon style and do a bit more yin and restorative. People who are very kaphic, who are tamasic and want to meditate, they're drawn just to meditation, not moving, should be doing more physical stuff. Now, if you give yourself what you need as opposed to what you want, it's called Sarvanga sadhana. Sarvanga means supported. Sadhana means like a daily practice. So it's as if it's almost like intuitively you've been giving yourself Sarvanga sadhana and not Angabanga, which most people are Angabanga. So
yeah,
yes,
good.
yeah.
I'm excited and a bit nervous. I feel like I was going back to school because I haven't done any. I'm used to being the one that gives all the time. So for me to be doing some actual sort of reading and written stuff is quite
yeah. I think, but then also it's like, this is the first step, and this, like, once you've opened this door, it's a personal transformation. This is a life decision. It's a big decision to choose to be a yoga teacher. It's so different to any other course because you have to integrate it into your life. It's not like you go to the office, you do 9 to 5, and then you come home and this is like, you're integrating, and so there's things that you start to see and open it. So it can make you nervous because you've made a choice to change your life in a good way.
Yeah. I think that's why I've held off, because I've been so aware of that, of it being like a big thing. So yeah, brilliant. Thanks.
Thank you, Nancy. Let's see who else we've got here. Holly. Hello, Holly.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi everyone. I'm Holly, and I'm actually in the Outer Hebrides. I'm on the Isle of Lewis. I don't sound like that because I'm not from here. I'm from down there. I've been here I realized the other day, I've been living here for 14 and a half years.
Wow.
Yeah. And I always get asked how I came to be here, and I don't really know. Well, I know how I got here. It was always supposed to be like a long summer. I'm still here. So I first went to a yoga class when my youngest kid was a baby. That was nearly 10 years ago. And I didn't really know much about yoga. I had a couple of ideas, but I just went, and it was nothing like I thought it would be at all. And at the time, I was quite young. I was quite a young mum, and I was fully in that brain fog. In hindsight, I wasn't all right. Like I wasn't all right. I didn't know
your hormones are rampaging when you've just had a baby. Yeah. So
I didn't have family there. I was a bit like a bit lost and trying to work out how to be a mum, and also living in this place where I didn't really know anyone. So I went to this class and I realized how much I needed it, but the stuff that the teacher was saying more than, well, the movement as well, but the stuff that she was saying was just struck a chord with me, like the teachings, taking the stuff off the mat, and some of the stuff she was saying was making me feel quite emotional. I realized that, oh, there's something here, and I was kind of hooked to all the like the movement I loved, and I really needed that movement, and to be somewhere that wasn't in the house, you know, just being mum. And it just struck a chord, and I found it so interesting. So I kind of kept it up. I did keep it up, and from then on, it was just there, this like thing beside me that I would use to support me, basically. And I found it really cool and interesting. And what I was doing up until very recently is we have a small hotel here, but that now my kids are quite a bit older, it was all consuming. Like most of us were there all the time. Like the kids would be there at the weekends with me, after school, in the holidays. And it was up until COVID, where obviously the hotel was shut, and it was the first time I'd had any time off with the kids, not working in years, like so long. And I suddenly realized that the way we were wasn't cool. And I decided then not to go back. I wouldn't go back and to the hotel, because it was making everything off kilter. I was just tunnel visioned. Everything I was enjoying about yoga, nothing, I wasn't able to apply it to my life because I was just sucked into getting through the days. So I had previously quite wanted to do a yoga teacher training, but because of where we are, there isn't really one locally, because there's water in the way. a lot of water. And because of the time pressures of having that business, I couldn't get away. And my husband obviously was absorbed by it as well. So I kind of just thought one day. And then everything stopped, and we stopped, and suddenly everyone was a bit, I don't want to say thanks COVID, but yeah, thanks for that bit, getting us to stop and think. Kids were happier, as a family we're happier, with me and all of us not just being absorbed all the time. So in the meantime, while I was trying to work out, would I do a yoga, is now the time, I did a mindfulness and meditation teacher training with Zenways, which just has been so great. And I've done quite a bit with that so far. I've been working with some local groups and charities and teaching workshops and things myself, and that's been wonderful. So from me, like, I don't know, I feel like a year, but it's been longer than a year. How long has COVID been now? 18 months, something like that?
Oh, year and a half.
It's been,
about a year and a half.
Yeah, so over that period of time, back at the beginning of that, I mean, now are very different, and I've got quite a lot, like I've like physically changed quite a lot, shed quite a lot of weight, because I wasn't like stress drinking wine all the time, and I was able to practice as much as I wanted, movement, and I've got quite a lot. So I feel like now I'm still not able to swim to the mainland or have the time to get away fully, but this is very possible. And it just feels like now is the right time, and I'm really excited, and it's good to know you all a bit and get going. So thank you very much.
Yay! Oh, welcome. Oh, I'm so glad you chose to join us, though. I'm really happy. Thank you, Holly. It's lovely to meet you. So I'm looking down here, and we've got Sandra. Hello, Sandra. Long time no see. Oh, there you go. You got yours.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sandra, and Louise and me have known each other for a couple of years now, but off grid. I started the yoga training, was it over 2 years ago now?
You were the unlucky group. You were halfway through a 200-hour and COVID hit, so they'd done some of the real stuff, and then it was like, you've got a choice, keep going, or so. Sandra was, you were homeschooling, and it just didn't work for you. So
yeah, it didn't work in so many levels, purely because I've got 2 boys. I had to look after my parents. We just had started a new business. Hasten to add, it's outside, so that didn't have a really impact, but I work with my husband. That's probably why I need yoga to get on my mat. So yes, I feel now, having gone through COVID, and a lot of what you girls and women have already said so resonates with me as well. Yoga for me used to be so much the asanas, and really for COVID, I had the kids doing mantras. We would sing and dance in the morning before we started the homeschooling, and it used to just be positive minds, positive vibes, positive lives. And this was just how we started our day. And I think, thank you so much, Lisa, because I learned so much in that short space of time.
Oh, that's lovely to hear.
It just really made me realize that I need to have the meditation, just the emotional stability of just saying, Sandra, stop, breathe, look around about you. And it just made me look at the trees in a different way. It made me just connect with nature. I walk about in the grass in the morning in my bare feet and just think, wow, we're so lucky to have what we've got. So in much disrespect of what's happened with COVID, for me, it's changed my life and my family's life too, purely in the fact that I really feel much more connected and grounded than what I've ever done before. And what used to be important is no longer important. And it's just going, leave it. And what you said as well, Louise, is not take things personally. That's what I've done all my life. And I'm trying to train myself not to get down that route, because it just destroys you in so many ways. So it's like, let it go, let it flow. You know, I say to my kids, put it in a cloud and let it drift off. So yeah, I'm back here. I'm so excited. And it was like, guys, on a school bus, Mum's away to start the yoga course.
Oh, it's so lovely to see you again, Sandra. I'm glad you're back in the room.
I'm looking forward to this journey with you again. And please,
brilliant.
I don't want anything stopping me this time.
Nah. Do you know what? The universe gives you what you need at the right time, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it. Yeah, and I think this COVID journey, it's been a journey for everyone, and it's almost like cleared the way. So it's made us see what's important and what's not important, and it's made us realize how precious time is and what we're going to do with our time, and we do it more productively, and like, sorry to swear, but less time for bullshit. You know, really. So, you know, I used to be a bit of a doormat, you know, like, oh, okay, it's like as long as everyone else is okay. And now I'm a bit more assertive, you know. It's not made me an asshole. It's just that I'm now like, you know, you actually need to get on with it and not like worry whether people will like you or not. As long as you do the work on yourself, then the right vibe will happen. As long as you're doing things in a good way without you. I would speak about the Dharma code and the whole of in the training. Simon Haas wrote this. Simon Haas. He's a lovely man. So he wrote the Book of Dharma. It's a great book. It's one that's suggested in the reading list for the 300 hours, but it's like a bit of a game changer. So Dharma in yoga, it means differently to Buddhism. Buddhism, Dharma is a different thing. But Dharma for us, and it's in the Bhagavad Gita as well, is our sole purpose. And as yogis, we want to discover our Dharma. This is where I work with astrology as well. And you can actually find out your Dharma by figuring out what your North Node is. That's another story. But anyway, when you make any decisions, I always apply the Dharma code. Now, the Dharma code is something that the ancient rishis, the ascetics, they had the knowledge of the Dharma code, and it was only passed down through mouth to the kings to allow them to rule their kingdoms well. But if you think about it, the way we live in our houses, the way we live in our bodies, we're ruling our own kingdoms. So if something's happening, what decision do we want to make? Life really is about a succession of decisions. So we make a decision, and then there's the karma that comes, you know, from the action that we've made from that decision. So, you know, it's, you know, as Simon has this, you know, be lying on your deathbed, you're looking back on the decisions you've made in your life. So we want to choose, like as yogis, we want to make wise decisions. So applying the Dharma code, so it's interrelated with Hindu philosophy as well, you know. So this is where Patanjali's sutras are Hindu philosophy as well. The Dharma code is, and this is me going to speak a bit Sanskrit to you, but you'll learn these ones because we're speaking about the yamas and niyamas. It's ahimsa. Ahimsa. So 4 things, the Dharma code. Before you make a decision, look at ahimsa. Ahimsa is non-violence. Is it going to harm yourself or others? Satya. Satya means truth. Is it truthful? You know, sometimes the truth can be hurtful, so you've got to apply it all together. And then saucha. Saucha is cleanliness. So it's not just about not being rude. It's about where are you coming from? You know, you don't want to have a mind that's full of crap. You know, if you're coming from your own stuff, that's projecting. Coming from so it's like cleanliness in a way that's clean thoughts, clean mind. And then tapas. And yeah, tapas is a very nice Spanish dish, which I enjoy thoroughly. But tapas is also burning spiritual ardor. So this is why we get up at like 6 in the morning to do our yoga practices in a dark winter's night, when it's actually easier to lie in your cozy bed and not do it. Once you've got on your mat, you've done it, you go, oh, I'm so glad I did that. It's the same with studying and doing your exams. If you don't study, you fail your exams. That's tapas. Tapas is just getting on with it, having passion and drive. So are you passionate about it? What does it make you feel? But applying all these 4 to any decision, honestly, life will get better for you. Your vibration will raise. You'll raise your vibration. The more you raise your vibration, your electromagnetic field, the stronger your immune system, and the less you get affected by external negative influences. There you go. I've gone on a little bit there, but I felt I needed to share. Okay. So thank you, Sandra. So I can see Rachel down there. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, everyone. Hi. It's been really interesting to listen to everyone's story and journey. And also it's made me realise I'm probably the newbie really compared to all of you, because I was an infant teacher till 5 years ago. And I loved that job, absolutely loved it. But it's totally all consuming. And I always used to think one day I'm going to do yoga. It was one of those things, you know, one day when I'm not so busy, and I should have done it then really, because it would have helped. But so then that one day came and I started doing yoga, more for the physical side, I think, but realized absolutely loved it and how great it is for the mind as well. So I've really enjoyed doing that the last 5 years. And then again with COVID, nothing major happened to me, but you had more time to think. And I thought, yeah, I'd really like to give yoga teaching a go. And then did a bit of research, came across Louise. I thought, yeah, this all sounds great. And so I'm really excited. I don't think I'm as experienced perhaps as the rest of you, but I'm going to give it my all and I can't wait.
Excellent. Well, the thing is, it's not about the experience you get. It's really about you as a person, you as an individual, and everyone has something to share, and we can all learn from each other. You know, we're all eternal students, and no one is spiritually superior than anyone else, you know. And I think when you get yoga teachers that think they're spiritually superior, it makes them less spiritually superior, because no one is better, you know. I've still got so much to learn and I'm still learning. So where you're at in your yogic journey is exactly where you're supposed to be. So thank you, Rachel. It's lovely to see you. I'm glad you joined us. So looking forward to our journey together. So we've got Haley here as well. Yay! Hello, Haley.
Hello, and yeah, it's so nice to meet everyone and hear all those, all the stories and kind of what brought you to yoga. And I was like Alana, somebody who started the course last year, and feel really grateful to be able to continue having deferred. So I have 2 young children. I've got a little boy who's 5 and a little girl who's 2.5. And both my husband and myself were working throughout both lockdowns, and with the 2 kids there wasn't an awful lot of time for myself and my husband, at the end of the day. So it's nice that now that we're back in a routine. But like Sandra said, and like many of you have said, there's so many positives that came out of COVID and lockdown as well. And I think it really made us think about what we wanted in life and how to live a bit more sort of fulfilling, happier life. So as a result, my husband is now, well, he's a teacher, but he has gone down from 5 days to 4 days, because I think it was just like Louisa was saying, you realise in time short, you've only got one chance to do what you love. And his dream is to have a small home. So 1 day a week, he's now doing a permaculture course alongside teaching. And I think the dream is to, still teach, but do have a small holding sometime in the future. And myself, I teach as well, but at Robert Gordon University. So I've been there for about 10 years, and the dream for me would be to continue that. I really enjoy working with the students, but to teach yoga part-time and do that part-time, and hopefully get that balance that we're all kind of looking for in our lives. And in terms of yoga, I started yoga about 6 years ago when I was pregnant with my son, to help with some shoulder pain and to help with my pregnancy, and just fell in love with it, and physically saw such a benefit, but mentally as well. Somebody who'd done a bit of, I guess, soul searching kind of in their 20s, realising a lot of traits that that are inherent in your personality, being you're quite sensitive, a bit of a perfectionist, not being particularly good in terms of living in the moment, and looking at the theory as well of yoga, and that really helped me. And just that amazing sort of sense of community, having done a class, and you leave, you feel a bit lighter, that you've got that more clarity, and just helps you to live, I think, a happier life. But again, I've absolutely loved what we've done on the course so far, and just looking forward to starting this year. Hope, fingers crossed, no more homeschooling, and so we've got a bit more time to do the course. But just it's lovely to meet you all. Thank you.
Oh, it's great to see you again, Hayley. I think that's the thing. I think 2020 was actually trained us to prepare for 2021, because 2021 has been very challenging, I would say, but in a different way. If we hadn't had 2020, I don't know if we would have managed 2021. So I think that, everyone was going, oh my God, 2020 was us prepping for this year. But astrology, my astrology teachers have, they basically told me last year that 2021 is going to be more challenging. It's like, okay. So I was prepped. I told my children, they were like, oh, keep it rubbish, Mum. And then they're now like, So, and some of you guys will remember last year, remember I said, this week it's going to be explosive. We'd be really careful, and it could be a literal explosions. And that was, remember, it was at the bomb in Israel and the train crash in Stonehaven, and it affected one of our students, remember. It was just, it's very much, I will be like sharing the astrology of the week with you guys, because it really does. Back in the Vedas, the Vedantas, 5,000 years ago, when the yogis were studying yoga, they're also studying astrology, studying the planets, the transits. Being aware of the transits can help you be aware of the energy of the week. Okay, so it's not all airy-fairy stuff. It's like scientific. It's absolutely fascinating. But 2022 is going to be a lot nicer, apparently. So we're just, if we do the work, and I think you've probably noticed the people that weren't putting the work in last year, they weren't working on themselves, are really, really, really struggling this year. We're able to apply what we learned last year to what's hitting us this year. Some people who were too busy enjoying lockdown too much and disassociating have to step up and learn this year's lesson. You might have noticed. So it's really interesting. And there's no right or wrong. This isn't about blaming or shaming or saying, oh, because somebody didn't do the work last year, oh, serves them, right? It's not, it's their life path. Everyone has lessons to learn in this lifetime. I think a way of really being helpful to that, because we're all going to be challenged, use them as opportunities to evolve. We all have free will, so we have free will to choose how situations affect us. So if it's challenging, what can we learn from it to help us evolve to get to the next stage? It's a bit like Donkey Kong. Okay, so I've got everyone. Have I got everyone? I've not missed it. I don't want anyone coming on going, oh my God, she'll miss me out in the first day. That would be horrific. Oh, so yeah, so I'm going to let you go and have a toilet break, get some caffeine in you. So we're going to have, like, say 20 minutes breaks. We'll come back at 10:30 for an hour's practice. So be ready on your mat, good to go. I'll stop recording just now. We'll stay online though, and then we'll come back. I'll record it, so you've got this morning's recording of all the things you need to know, and then you'll have this morning's practice as well. I'm really going to teach more of a skeleton, like a generic kind of the type of class that I would, if I was going to somewhere where it was a mixture of different abilities or different types of people, the sort of class that I would teach there. So I'm not doing a specifically, this is for this type of day, this is for that. I'm just going to, so we can feel it in our bodies and practice together. Okay, so go and enjoy your cuppies. I'll see you back here in 20 minutes. Okay, lots of love. Bye.